Boxing fans are a massive problem. Supporting drug cheats, supporting dehydration is absolutely shocking stuff. Why this fight was supported by people to happen a second time, I don't know. I have rights to say it because I knew that the rehydration clause would be a huge problem for Eubank Jr. and I knew that Conor Benn would win because of that. Eubank Jr. lost the fight because he had no energy, because the first fight took a lot out of him. The state of him after that because of dehydration is shocking. And the fact that you've got people supporting drug cheats and they're just not holding them to the same standards as others. You've got people cheering, supporting Conor Benn winning there. The arena the stadium, should I say, screaming drug cheats allowed to fight in stadiums. Shocking stuff. The thing is, as well, you've got people who don't like Conor Benn because he's failed the drug test. You've got people though who love Tyson Fury even though he failed drug tests. Hold them to the same standard. You've got people who hate Conor Benn, but love Ryan Garcia, even though he failed the drug test. You've got people who love Conor Benn, but hate Ryan Garcia because he failed one. Hold them to the same standards. They are all scumbags for doing this. They're apparently cleared. Everyone's getting cleared these days. There's too much money involved, and the boxing fans are a massive problem because they support this stuff. Too many boxing fans support this. And the fact that, people were there saying Eubank Jr. is going to win, dehydration is not going to bother him a second time. Of course it would have. And it did. It was obvious and I knew it would happen. So, yeah, that's the reason why Eubank lost. That needs to be mentioned more. Yes, it was a great performance by Conor Benn. He did great against Eubank Jr., who's 36 and was badly dehydrated. He did what he had to do, cleaned him out, dropped him twice. Fair play, well done. Doesn't change the fact that he shouldn't be allowed in a boxing ring. No drug cheat should be allowed to fight. The fact that these guys, drug cheats, you've got guys like Canelo as well, Jarrell Miller. Why are they allowed to fight? They failed a bloody drug test and no one's keeping to the same standards. You've got people like Eddie Hearn first time around trying to hide all of this. Why? And boxing fans are just happy just to get on with it. No, there needs to be protests. These guys shouldn't be allowed to fight. Too much money involved as well and fans support them. It's a joke. The amount of support Conor Benn had, joke. Honestly. I just don't understand why. I don't understand why. The fact that drug cheats are allowed to headline in stadiums. Why are they fighting when you're putting, many men's health at severe risk? People have died in the boxing ring. People have had some serious brain bleeds in boxing rings. And people who are clearly going in there with bad intentions, people like Conor Benn. It's not even just Conor Benn though. I'm ranting about it because he got a moment like that and it shouldn't be allowed to happen. And boxing fans have just allowed it. And, people need to speak up on it because it's just happening too much now. It's happening too much. These guys who want to take people's lives in there, go in there with extremely bad intentions, are getting moments like this, are getting paid millions of pounds like what Conor Benn's just been paid there. Fighting in stadiums, headlining in stadiums. It's a massive problem and boxing fans have a huge problem with this and are just there's just too many culprits out there who just support this and are just happy to go along with it. No one says anything. No one in the media says anything. And the fact is, the fact is, okay, there was a rehydration clause first time around before when the original fight got called off. After then, a rehydration clause shouldn't be allowed. Everything should have been on Eubank's terms. Everything should have been. Going into that first fight. We're going to the rematch. I don't understand why Eubank, as the A side, is letting that happen though. Accepting the terms again. Unless surely, there was a 2-fight deal which agreed a rehydration clause both times. I can't think otherwise. Surely that was the case. But this is happening too much now with drug cheats getting away with it. Drug cheats, apparently getting clear. There's too much money involved. Dillian White as well. There's too many of these guys to name who should be banned, shouldn't be allowed to fight again. The amount of Dillian White's failed as well. Jesus Christ. She shouldn't be boxing. I mean, no one who fails test should because they are cheating. They're going against the rules of the sport, and they are trying to harm other men's lives in the most dangerous sport in the world. That is what's happening here. The amount of deaths there's been in boxing, and PED cheats are allowed to fight, and people support them. People cheering, yeah, yeah, yeah. The fact that Conor Benn won the fight against Eubank Jr., who's been tested God knows how many times, loads of times, never popped once. Never popped once. And people are booing him. Conor Benn had more bloody fans there. How? What are people doing? What are going through these people's minds? Honestly, what goes through it? Conor Benn, going into that first fight, when it got cancelled, failed a drug test while he was going in to fight a dehydrated man. You know, that alone says everything you need to know about Conor Benn. That alone says everything you need to know. And it is a massive problem in boxing right now. A massive problem in boxing. No one in the media talks about it. No journalist talks about it. I mean, they're probably not allowed to. But the fact is, you've got people saying as well, after everything that Conor Benn has been through, he's won. He failed a drug test. He failed a drug test. That's what he's been through. Failed the drug test and paid them off. So ridiculously obvious to say. Honestly, every time he was asked about it in the lead up to that first fight by Eubank Jr., Conor Benn had nothing to say, went into silence because he's obviously guilty. Shocking stuff. Honestly. I don't know why he's allowed to fight. I don't know why all these drug teachers are allowed to fight. Fury, Canelo, White, Miller, Conor Benn. Many more, which there's just too many to say, honestly. But it's Jaime Munguia recently, PED cheese. Honestly, joke. Apparently they're getting cleared. There's too many clearances now. Like, you can't believe anything. You can't believe anything in this sport. But the boxing fans are a massive problem. Honestly, shocking. Selling out stadiums for drug cheese. Honestly. Oh.